Hello, I'm attorney Scott Lesowitz, and I will be discussing the most consequential trial of our lifetimes, the civil negligence trial involving Gwyneth Paltrow and a ski accident in 2016 in Deer Valley, Utah. Now, nobody died in that accident, but Gwyneth Paltrow used to be in movies and now is a totally legitimate health and wellness expert. So put down your bone broth and vegetables because I'm going to be reacting to some key clips from Gwyneth Paltrow's cross-examination. As an introduction before I play the first clip, Terry Sanderson, the plaintiff, alleges that Gwyneth Paltrow was skiing negligently and crashed into him, whereas Paltrow alleges that Sanderson actually crashed into her, hitting her from behind.
And then how did you respond?
I said, I can still watch my children ski and be skied directly into my back by someone.
And your 9-year-old son, you will admit, was on your left and up a bit.
To my recollection.
Okay.
If Paltrow was watching her son skiing while she was also skiing, that would be negligent. And if the son was higher up on the slope and she were watching at him or glancing at him, it would be implausible that she was hit from behind by somebody she did not see. But I still would like to have seen her remind the jury that this accident happened roughly 7 years ago in 2016, and that it's really difficult to expect her to remember things accurately that happened that long ago. Sanderson does have the burden of proof on his claim. As a little introduction to the second clip, Paltrow had testified earlier that she could tell that the person who struck her in the back was a man because of the size of the person and how big the person felt against her back.
We're about the same height? About 5'5" with heels?
It's roughly.
Oh, tell me I'm taller, please. Okay, so we've got Mr. Sanderson that's about 5'5" that comes in back of you, and you said that you felt something huge. What was your word behind you?
No, just a big body.
A big body. All right.
All right, so we learned a couple things from this clip. One is that Sanderson's attorney is quite insecure about her height and is willing to put down her client in order to feel better about herself. And the other is that Paltrow, who is 5'9" or 5'10", claims that a large man hit her from behind that she couldn't see, and yet the dude is 5'5" and's got a lean frame. Moving on to the next clip, there was one bystander who claims to have seen the accident, and he testified favorably to Sanderson and unfavorably to Paltrow.
The only person who says that they saw the collision was Mr. Ramon.
Yes.
The way you answer that makes me think that you don't believe that he saw it.
I did not believe his testimony.
Ms. Paltrow, why would he lie?
He said he was at 40 feet away and colorblind. I don't know how he can be positive about what he saw, especially with how much he changed his story.
All right, this testimony was funny to me. First of all, Paltrow didn't even answer the question that was asked. The question was something to the effect of, why would this witness have a motive to lie? And instead, Paltrow went off on how it was implausible that he could have witnessed the accident as well as he claimed. And more importantly, the testimony is silly. I used to ski quite a bit before I had 3 children. And also, I used to ski at Deer Valley where the accident happened. And I have a father who is red-green colorblind. I'm not colorblind myself. And I also have a sister who used to ski all together. And my sister, by the way, is much, much older than me. So I think it was probably much greater age difference than with Sanderson and Paltrow, although, she might beg to differ. And it's just totally implausible to me that if my father were watching us ski from 40 feet away, that he would have been unable to tell whether I ran into her or whether she ran into me. I'm just imagining a quarterback throwing an interception 14 yards out and going back to the sideline saying, "Coach, I couldn't make out the different people because it was 14 yards away." All right, before getting to the final clip, please do remember to like and subscribe. It will make this puppy very happy if you do. So as background to this final clip, Paltrow countersued for $1 and attorney's fees for her own negligence claim against Sanderson. And her attorney made a big deal about it in the opening, even waiving a $1 bill.
So
It's a
I'm
yes-
asking
it's a yes
for
or no.
$1 for me and then reimbursement of attorney's fees, which is a separate thing,
And that could be a substantial amount, correct?
potentially.
Okay. And when your counsel got up waving that $1, don't you think that's a little bit of a mischaracterization?
But I really just don't see the point of bringing in the counterclaim. Emails that suggested he was, thinking about how he can make a big buck off of this. And so I don't see the point of bringing the counterclaim to make that narrative. And then also, more importantly, Sanderson has the burden of proof. Now it's a civil case, so he only has to prove that it's more likely than not that Paltrow was negligent and caused injuries to him. However, it still is his burden of proof. And if I'm Paltrow and her legal team, I really would be emphasizing that this accident happened a long time ago. Paltrow wasn't even deposed until like 4 years after the accident happened. And so it's not realistic to think that everybody's memory is clear enough to be establishing the elements of his cause of action. But by bringing a counterclaim, you then ask the jury to basically decide one way or the other. It was either Paltrow's fault or it was his fault. Now, in reality, they could find both of them not liable. And ironically, I don't even think there's any greater chance that Paltrow would receive her attorney's fees if she were to win the counterclaim versus just defeating his claim against him. Either way, it's implausible, or unlikely at least. Also, I assume that her insurer is providing her defense. Okay, so that's all I got right now on the Paltrow case. I hope that you liked it, and if this does well enough, I'll make another video on this if more interesting stuff happens.